Hello beloveds, Darian here from Darian Empire. Welcome back. I am sending you guys so much love during this time. Everyone right now is being affected by COVID-19 and by this pandemic, whether it be physically, experiencing the virus, losing a loved one, or social distancing and quarantining. I am on, I think, day 17 or 18 of quarantine, social distancing. We have a stay-home order here in Philadelphia, and so we're in the house. One of the things that I want to do for you guys during this time is support you in any way I can. I am doing daily quarantine gathering on Facebook Live where I'm reading A Course in Miracles. I'm doing a quick little tarot read and, just connecting with people, just making sure that we are, doing okay. I definitely want to support you. Please feel free to reach out to me. There are tons of different avenues to reach out to me. Instagram, my website, Facebook. I know that, social media isn't really the greatest place to be sometimes. I know Facebook is really rough right now, so I totally understand if that's not somewhere you want to gather. But yeah, definitely reach out to me if you are in need. And today I want to teach you a few different ways that you can prevent depression during social distancing. So those of you who struggle with depression, I'm sure this is a big trigger for you, or this possibly could be. And those of you that are just used to being around people all of the time, maybe single people who are literally home alone, single moms who are alone with their kids, it can be very difficult to not have any physical social interaction. And so I want to teach you or offer you some ways to help your brain actually release serotonin. Some of the things that I'm going to be helping you with and teaching you today actually are backed by science. All of these have been used by me, somebody who has been diagnosed with clinical depression since I was 13 years old. And, these are sort of tried and true methods. I experienced myself, just the other day I woke up and I was just kind of down. I felt like I had a gray cloud over me, and I did have to shift my energy. And, I do have to use more effort during these times to ensure more effort and more vigilance, really, to ensure that I'm taking good care of myself and to ensure that I won't sink into a depression. Okay. So these are in no particular order, but the very first one I believe is the first most important one that is going to help you to shift. Okay. The very first one is, and it seems like it's an oversimplification, but I'm going to explain. The very first one is decide to be happy. So the reason I say that is not just like, oh, you're depressed, just decide to be happy because it's super easy. That's not what I mean by it. What I mean is you have to actually make the decision in your mind. I am going to do these things because I want to be happy. I am choosing that no matter what, I am going to choose thoughts that make me feel good. It's a difficult thing to do, but you have to kind of have that moment where you buckle down. Like I had to have a pep talk with myself and I said, Darian, you are not doing this. You are not going to be stuck in the house and depressed for no good reason because you don't have people around you or whatever. You are going to be happy for no reason. That is my decision. I choose to be happy. Now, the thing with those of us who struggle with depression is it has to be a constant choice that we make. It has to be a mental shift where we say, no. I'm not going to entertain that thought right now that makes me feel like crap. I'm going to choose again thoughts of joy. I'm going to choose that I want to be happy. Also, the reason you want to choose to be happy is because you actually want to sit down and focus on that decision, is because when you're coming about this energy of like trying to prevent depression or trying to make yourself feel better when you're in a state of depression, if you take any of these steps that I'm going to teach you here and you come from the mindset of I am depressed, trying to do this thing to make me not depressed, it's that mindset alone that is not going to be helpful. If you started off with saying, I decide to be happy and I'm going to do whatever it takes to be that. And you come with this like assertiveness about your energy. It's not always easy. So I send you the utmost love, but we got to really stress that for ourselves. This isn't a battle between you and anybody else. This is a battle between you. And you have to, I'm not saying to be hard on yourself, but I'm saying to say, I'm going to be happy. I choose to be happy. I decide to be happy because that's my choice. I don't need a reason to be happy. This is my choice, right? And like exercise that choice and do that, okay? The next thing, again, the rest of these are really in no particular order at all. So, don't feel like you have to do all of these or do them in this particular order. But the next thing is actually, and this is backed by studies, is sunlight. So if you can wake up in the morning and, weather permitting, you have the ability to step outside and bask in the sunlight, whether it's sunny or not, but basking in sunlight for like 30 minutes upon waking up, like within like 30 minutes to an hour of waking up. If you can get that in the morning, it is best to get it in the morning, but if you can get it at any time, that's great. But it's best to get it during the morning time because that actually affects your sleep and it helps you to sleep better. And we know that, people who suffer with depression, we also tend to have sleep issues as well. So the reason this is so good is that it's the actual light of the sun, not just like the vitamin D, but the actual light of the sun that does something to the brain that actually creates serotonin and the good mood chemicals to release in your brain. If you don't have the ability to go outside, maybe it's rainy, right? So here in Philadelphia, it has been a pretty crappy week, which is also weather-wise, which is also affecting my mood. So not being able to get outside, not being able to get fresh air, and not being able to get that sunlight has been affecting me and my mood. I have what's called a happy lamp. So this is something that I bought on Amazon for like $40. They're not that expensive. They have a large price range. If you can pick one up, if you can order it off of Amazon, that would be amazing. Even if you can just sit in front of your window during the time that you don't have a happy lamp. But a happy lamp basically assimilates the actual light of the sun. So it's like getting that sunlight for the amount of time that we want to. So what I've been doing is when I wake up in the morning, I turn on that light. I did it for my daughter as well because she was feeling kind of crappy today. I turn on that light. I don't put it in my face, but I just put it kind of next to me while I go about doing what I do. So maybe I'm like journaling or maybe I'm, whatever it is that I'm doing, I'll just put that light in front of me or next to me for about 30 minutes. So try that out. Sometimes depending on how sensitive you are, you're gonna have to kind of work with the amount of time. Sometimes it's like really gets you like, it's like gets you a little hyperactive. So you're gonna wanna be careful with, just work with what times work best for you. Sometimes only 10 minutes and sometimes 45 minutes. It really depends on you. But getting it as close to from, the morning time from when you wake up is really good for helping you to sleep better at night. And I definitely encourage you to research a little bit more about that on your own. So the next thing, this seems like a total no-brainer, but for those of you that are suffering with depression, sometimes we don't have like reach of these thoughts and we're just like, what can I do? We don't, we just feel like really lost. And that is cardio. If we can get, here's little Haven coming to say hello. Hi, baby. If we can get our heart rate up, it helps to raise serotonin level. So exercise is so important for our bodies. It's so important for our brain. It's so important for our mood. And it's not, you don't have to like do a whole workout session, but if you could stand up and do jumping jacks right now, as long as it's healthy for you to do that, as long as it's safe for you to do that, if you could do that right now, just do, 10, 15 jumping jacks or do some yoga stretches, right? That one, it's probably going to make you feel better, your mood lifted just a little bit right away, okay? And over time, it's going to continue to prevent depression. It's going to act as like a cure for depression if you continue to do it over time. Of course, all of these things coupled together are really helpful, okay? So the next thing, and this is also backed by studies, is fish oil, okay? The omega-3 fatty acids that are in fish and algae are really good for releasing the serotonin levels and the dopamine in your brain as well. I take fish oil once a day. I think it's like 1,000 milligrams that I take once a day. It is a higher grade. It's not like a super cheap fish oil. It's not the highest grade. It's kind of like what I could get at the drugstore, but it's the most expensive one I got at the drugstore. And if you don't want to take supplements, eating fish, eating like salmon or something like that, like at least once a week, if not up to 3 times a week, is really, really effective. This stuff has worked for me so well over the years that I can tell when I didn't take my fish oil. Like I can tell that maybe it's in my mind, I don't know, but I can tell when I don't take my fish oil. Fish oil, those omega-3 fatty acids, adding that to your diet and making sure that it's either coming from fish or algae is so important and will make a difference. Now, if you just start taking them, it does take a couple weeks to kick in, so just know that. Okay, so the next one seems kind of obvious, but it's just something that you want to put on your, depression prevention to-do list, is reaching out to friends, loved ones, therapists, whomever you need to reach out to. During this time, you should have maybe even a list of all of the people that you can call, and I would call those people once a day. Not every single one of them, but I would have at least one person that I call each day, just so that I know that I am having social interaction with someone that I know, that cares about me, reminds me that I'm not, the only person in the world right now. And make sure that it is people that are close to you. Make sure that it is people that know you, whether it is your therapist or, a loved one, a friend, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, or I guess you're living with your husband, so you want to talk to them too. But if you're alone, call who you need to call, because I don't think necessarily that social media is really going to help with this particular thing. I really feel like talking to people that you know that will help you to lift your mood is, look at that as an act of love towards yourself. Like I'm giving myself the gift of social interaction with my friends, and you really have to stay vigilant about this. Like you are your own responsibility and you got to take care of yourself, okay? During this time, I do my therapy sessions every Wednesday. And so what we've been doing is just phone calls where normally I would go see her. She also offered being able to do video chat, which is wonderful. And so if you have a therapist that can do that, there are beautiful hotlines that are available if necessary, of course, but you really, for the prevention of depression, you really want to make sure that you are, you have a plan, and it's a plan for self-care, and you really have to be vigilant with it. You really got to buckle down. We can't just be like a lot of people are in general and just kind of go with the flow. If you are prone to depression, you have to plan out your self-care. You have to say, like, I'm going to talk to so-and-so at this time. You have to say, like, I know that, this is, I know that around 3:00, my mood starts to dip. What's my plan, So the other thing that kind of goes along with planning is avoid rumination. So rumination, if you don't know what that is just sitting in thought for a long time, when you're prone to depression and now you're in social distancing or quarantining and you're very separate and segregated from a lot of people, we tend to get in these like mental vortexes of negativity, right? Studies have shown that if you stop yourself from ruminating more than 10 minutes, do not think about anything for longer than 10 minutes, that can help to break any cycles of negative rumination. So again, I go back to planning. What you need to do is like really be cognizant of yourself and your thoughts. And if you notice yourself ruminating, see if you can write down a list of things that you can do to kind of break that cycle. Things that kind of get you out of your head and into your body. Maybe it's like an engaging activity. Maybe it's painting. Maybe it's doing an exercise, doing jumping jacks really quick. Or maybe it's, something that can get you into a body. That's where you call your friend. If you catch yourself ruminating, call up a friend. Hey, what are you doing? Something to break those thoughts, to break that kind of pattern. Go for a walk outside if you can, something to break that pattern that is going to get you out of your head and into a more engaging activity that's going to keep you out of that rumination, okay? The next thing, and again, these are kind of no-brainers, but during this time you really want to be cognizant, is eating healthy. So the reason I say that is, of course, again, no-brainer, but during this time, we're stuck in our house, we're probably, Netflixing a lot, we're binging on things, and we're definitely, lounging around and could be eating a lot of crappy foods that, there's no shame in that. But when we're prone to depression, we just want to be more cognizant. It's like, it's fine if you eat the chips, but don't sit all day and eat the chips and then the pretzels and then the cookies and then not eat anything healthy, because that creates it makes your body feel really lethargic. And then that starts to make you feel more low vibe. It starts to make you feel more depressed. And so if you can feed your body with some healthy foods, with some great sunlight, and with a little bit of exercise, then your body is supporting your mood. Your body is supporting your mindset, right? And it does make it a lot easier. It's like you're not working against yourself, So just, when you're going food shopping, hopefully you're keeping that to a minimum and you're just buying, enough to last you for a good week or two. Hopefully you're choosing, fruits and vegetables, you're choosing healthy foods. So the next thing I would suggest, and again, this is kind of funny, seems like a no-brainer, but for those of you that struggle with depression, it's not always that easy. Shower. During this time, it will be so easy for you to just lounge around in your PJs. You go online, everybody's been in their PJs, people don't know what day it is, I've been there too, but getting up and getting a shower and brushing your teeth and just doing those things that you would do on a regular basis, it helps. It helps to refresh you. It helps to make you feel like you're a human being living inside society. It really makes a huge difference. So if you have the strength to get up and get a shower, again, don't put pressure on yourself, but this is like a prevention plan. So if you plan to take your showers daily, or plan to, make sure you brush your teeth, and maybe you're planning to actually get dressed every day instead of laying around in your PJs, it will help to keep your mood up, okay? And then the last and final thing that I'm going to offer you is writing down, not necessarily a gratitude list, because some of us aren't in a state of gratitude, and that's totally okay if you're not in a state of gratitude. But if you could write down things that you like, love, enjoy, or appreciate, not necessarily are grateful for, but maybe you're just kind of like it. Like maybe today you did take a shower and you're like, you know what, I got a shower today and it was refreshing. That was nice. It's not something you're like extremely grateful for, or you're like deeply appreciative of, but you're like, you know what, I did like that. I did enjoy that shower. Write that down and write why you enjoyed it, right? Because when you start to focus your mind on even the slightest little glimmers of hope, glimmers of goodness. It does shift your mindset. It does create momentum. I always say, this is my catchphrase, one of my many catchphrases, your focus is your potion. What you're focusing on is the ingredients that you're adding into this potion, which creates your life, right? Creates your mood, creates your energy. So if you could, I don't want to put so much pressure on you to say gratitude list every single day, but if you could, at the end of the day, at the beginning of the day, or right now even, do it right now, just sit and jot down a couple of things. And you know what? I'm not going to put any pressure on how many things you have to write. Just a couple of things, 1 thing, 2 things, 10 things, 5 things, doesn't matter. If you just write things that you like, just some things that are kind of good, things that you kind of enjoy, things that are okay. And you just do that. And the way you know you're doing it right is you feel a little bit better. You just feel a little bit better. I like this. Like, I'm shooting this video. You know what? It feels good to have gotten this done. Like, I've been wanting to shoot this video for a week and a half now, and it feels good that I got that done. Oh, it feels kind of like relieving. Whew. I feel a little bit relieved. Like I can check something off of my to-do list, and it's not kind of overwhelming me or piling up on me. And that feels kind of good. And I can focus there. Just, that's it. Even if that's all I can write on the list and nothing else feels good, I got one thing on that list, and then try again later or try again tomorrow. Okay, guys? So I deeply, deeply encourage you to please share this video with anybody you know who struggles with depression, has in the past, or is experiencing depression during this social distancing. Please share this with them. The majority of these, if not all of these actually, are backed by science. They are backed by studies and also by my own personal experiences, okay? This is stuff that seems so simple, but it seems to the average Joe that it's like, well, of course, everybody should be doing this. But somebody who's experiencing depression, we tend to take this list for granted, these simple little things that make a huge impact in our mood. They are simple shifts, so it's not like we're asking a lot of you. If you could only do one thing on this list, that would be perfectly fine. And it will start to shift you. If you're already feeling good and you know that you could be prone to depression, do everything on this list. Or do as many things on this list as feels good to you, and it will make a difference. But like I said throughout this whole thing, the most important thing is to really plan for that prevention, plan for feeling good, plan for how am I going to ensure that during this, it's today is March 31st that I'm recording this. I guess April 1st is when I'm going to be posting this, and our president of the United States here in the United States just said that we are going to be in social distancing until at least April 30th, or he suggests that until April 30th, which means that could go longer for statewide or not. We don't know. But if you could plan out, make it like your feel-good plan, right? This is my feel-good plan. This is how I'm going to help make sure that I have a plan for feeling good every single day. I have a list of things that I could do indoor and out that can boost my mood just a little bit. Have a plan. Be strategic about it. And that is how you will be able to avoid that moment where all of a sudden depression hits you and you're like, whoa, I don't know what just happened. I just got triggered. When we plan ahead and we are strategic about how we feel about keeping our mood up, it really helps hugely prevent any form of depression. I definitely encourage you to try any of these and come back and let me know. Did it work for you? Which one worked? Why did it work? How are you feeling prior to doing it? And I would love to see if it's been working over time, if you could come back and say, hey, I had a plan, I took your advice, and these were my results. I really want to hear that. I'm sending you all so much love. Make sure you come and see me on Facebook Live every single day during this quarantine. say hello. It's Darien Empire, facebook.com/Darien Empire. And I would love to chat with you. All right, guys, if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel. There is lots of music, magic, and inspiration on this channel that I am here to share with you. So hit that subscribe button and hit the bell for notifications so that you get to tell every single time I post a new video. All right, guys, I love you so much, and I will see you on the next one. Bye. You have to keep this video. You can